It is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025, 3:31 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Vollmer,
Present.
Alderwoman Keys, Alderwoman Velazquez, Vice Chair Browning,
Present.
Chair Schweitzer,
Present.
Alderwoman Keys, Alderwoman Velazquez. We have 3 present. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. A quorum being present, we will move on to the approval of the minutes of Wednesday, January 15th.
So moved.
It should say 2025 on the agenda. Madam Clerk, if you could make that change.
I will make that change.
Thank you. It's been moved by the Alderman from the 5th. Seconded by the Alderman from the 9th. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Vollmer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys, Alderwoman Velazquez, Vice Chair Browning,
Aye.
Chair Schweitzer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys, Alderwoman Velazquez. We have 3 aye votes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. With that, we've approved the motion of the Alderman from the 5th and approved the minutes of Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. We have several board bills to review. Madam Clerk, is Alderwoman Spencer present online?
No, she isn't.
Okay, then we'll move on to Board Bill number 156. Alderman Aldridge, you are recognized.
But we don't know you.
Thank you, Madam President, or Madam Chairwoman, and members of the Pew Committee. Madam Clerk, would you read Board Bill 156 summary?
Board Bill 156, introduced by Alderman Rasheen Aldridge, an ordinance providing for the unconditional vacation and abolition of public right-of-way in the portion of 123.225-foot portion of the 15-foot wide east-west alley in the City Block 974 as bounded by Sheridan Street, Elliott Street, vacated, Thomas Street and Leffingwell Avenue, and said alley being 212.21 feet east of Leffingwell Avenue and continuing to a point previously vacated by Ordinance 61792 in the City of St. Louis, Missouri, and containing an emergency clause.
Thank you, Madam Clerk and members of the committee. Again, Board Bill 156 is a street vacation bill that would basically, right now where the 911 call center is right in the alley of where we plan to build that call center, there's an alley that is separating both of the parcels. What we're doing is vacating that alley so that it could be one parcel, so ultimately that once the 911 call center is built, it is not split between an alley and being able to build the structure in complete form. I do have somebody from the City of St. Louis to kind of talk a little bit more about why this board bill is needed to vacate the alley so that it's one parcel for the 911 call center. Madam Chairwoman, if it's okay, I would like to have him also be a speaker on this bill.
Wonderful, thank you. Welcome. For the record, I'll just have you introduce yourself and say your position within the Board of Public Safety.
Sure. I'm Jarek Czernikiewicz. I'm Chief Design Engineer for Board of Public Service, who manages the project for 911 call center.
Please proceed.
Thank you. So the public service answering point 911 call center facility will be constructed on a site that is composed of multiple parcels, all owned by the city. So the purpose of the alley vacation is to, and the subsequent lot consolidation is to satisfy the zoning requirements, the City of St. Louis zoning code that basically states that no structure can be built across multiple parcels. The separate parcels do not individually meet minimum lot requirements, frontage, setback requirements, and basically they are non-conforming for the project as individual lots. Consolidating those parcels eliminates the risk of violating restrictions related to property lines. Therefore, the adjoining lots must be consolidated to meet the zoning requirements. That's why we support the proposed vacations and the request permission.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. We'll move through the committee for questions. Alderman Ballmer.
No, no questions whatsoever. Thank you very much. I trust that gentleman greatly.
Alderman Velasquez.
Not you, him.
No questions. I also trust the engineer. I trust you too, but different entirely. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Browning.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, did anyone else from the committee join? Alderman Keys.
No.
Thank you so much for being here and for that presentation of the information. I understand why this is happening and appreciate all of the work that must be going into the 911 call center, whether it's something that is as in need of a board bill like this, where you're getting all the parcels combined, or probably the 100 other decisions you're making every day to move this forward. So thank you so much for all that work. It's a huge project, so appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
And thank
very
you,
much.
Alderman, for bringing this forward to us today. Any public speakers on this bill?
We have none.
Okay, Alderman Aldridge, you're recognized to close.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and members of the committee. This is a simple bill, like our representative from the city mentioned. This is just to make sure all the parcels are together. I know we at the Board of Aldermen are really excited to make sure that this 911 call center come into reality. I'm even more excited that it'll be right in the backyard of the board, but I would just ask for a due pass recommendation on Board Bill 156 from the Public Infrastructure Committee.
Thank you, Alderman. At this time, I will entertain a motion for a due pass recommendation of Board Bill 156.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by the Alderman from the 5th, seconded by the Alderwoman from the 6th. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Ballmer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys. Alderwoman Velasquez.
Aye.
Vice Chair Browning.
Aye.
Chair Schweitzer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys. We have 4 aye votes.
By your vote, you have sustained the motion from the Alderman from the 5th, and we have passed Board Bill number 156 with the due pass recommendation. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Alderwoman, and members of the committee.
Thank you.
You and me. Can the clerk have me? Madam Clerk, can you have me as a co-sponsor on that?
So noted.
Or something?
Oh, you're fine. Thank you. Madam Clerk, has Alderman Spencer joined us?
Not yet.
Okay. Will you resend her a link? She says it's not working.
Okay, will do.
Thank you so much. And Alderman Vice Chair Browning, you're recognized. Bill to keep the agenda moving. Board Bill number 164.
Maybe they sent her the wrong link.
I asked her to resend.
Thank you. Board Bill 164 is, it says various blocks in the 9th Ward, but actually it's, we decided to whittle it down to just this one block for now. So this is the 4400 block of Washington. There are a couple different churches on that block, as well as some senior apartments. The road is a staggering 40 feet wide, which leads to a lot of speeding. And so speed humps, after some investigation into this street with BPS, they recommended that speed humps be the most appropriate way to slow down traffic. So that's our goal.
Thank you, Vice Chair Browning. We'll go through the committee for questions. Alderman Ballmer.
No questions whatsoever.
Alderwoman Velasquez.
I also have no questions whatsoever.
Okay, thank you. Alderwoman Keys, you've joined us?
She has not.
Okay, great. I also do not have any questions. Any public comment on this bill?
We have none.
Okay, Alderman, you are recognized to close.
Thank you. Again, I just ask for your favorable consideration. Also want to provide a quick update on, I know I've talked about having a bill that would do away with the need to have these bills in order to authorize speed humps. Just for everyone's knowledge, we are putting that on the back burner until the new session, giving time for the transportation mobility plan to wrap up. The administration asked us to do that, so we were happy to oblige so that we can just get the language exactly right. So that's what's going on with that. And in the meantime, we're just going to keep passing these bills to create speed humps.
Thank you, Alderman. And with that, I will entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 164 with a due pass recommendation.
Second.
Previous roll.
It's been moved by the Alderman from the 5th, seconded by the Alderman from the 6th. There's been a call for previous roll by the Alderman from the 5th.
No objections.
Any objection? Any discussion? Hearing none, we have passed Board Bill number 164 with a due pass recommendation. Alderman Spencer is still waiting for a link, I'm guessing, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Tracy's working on it. She's sending it to him.
Well, in the meantime, they have a committee discussion item, so we'll bounce to that and then come back to Alderman Spencer when she is online with us. The bill we worked on so hard in our committee before the new year was on the utility coordination policy that was passed unanimously by the board, then signed by the mayor about a month ago, which makes January 24th, that this is this Friday, the day where that policy would go into effect. So it's really important as it moves forward for us to make sure that those pieces of the policy are what we're seeing on the streets. So one of the things I think it's really important for anyone watching this or constituents to look out for is that any plates, metal plates that are in any of the roadways, sidewalks going forward from Friday need to have the asphalt ramping around them. There are parts of the board bill that go over what type of utility cuts have to be made, the backfilling of those cuts, the requirements for the utilities to restore the street. All of that is laid out explicitly in the bill to make it as clear as possible. So as you see utility work happening, please make sure to familiarize yourself with what we're supposed to be seeing so that we can make sure to report any issues that occur. To give us an update on this bill, there were some work products that were in the bill that we passed, including a street and sidewalk plan, GIS map of planned utility work, the road guide for utilities to follow when they are doing work, various things that we've asked for an update from the administration on providing those work products after the bill goes into effect. We're waiting for a response on that and the timeline for them to finish those items up. And I have asked Director Williams to present to us on the February 5th Public Infrastructure and Utilities Committee meeting. So hopefully we hear from her soon that will be something that they're willing to do so we can make sure that as this policy is enacted that we're really seeing the results on the street, and that's where we all should be seeing them. If there's anyone else in the committee who would like to make any comments on this. Alderman Ballmer?
No comment.
Alderman Velasquez?
No comment.
Vice Chair Browning?
No comment.
Thank you. Hopefully we will hear soon that a February 5th meeting will be occurring so that we can get some more information and make sure people are aware of what they should be seeing, and just as importantly, the utilities know what their responsibilities are and that they're clear. So thank you for entertaining that discussion item. I do see Alderman Spencer has joined us, so we'll return to board bills for review. Board bill number 112. Alderman Spencer, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the Public Infrastructure Committee. My apologies here. I think we had a little bit of an erroneous link, but thank you for the opportunity here. Board Bill 112 is a bill to vacate a portion of 8th Street from Marion northward. This is a petition put forward by the Grand Soulard Reception Hall. This was recommended to me by the street department. To be honest, I didn't have a whole lot of discussions with this because it went primarily through the street department and was made as a recommendation to me. So my point is, this was a recommendation by our city staff. And so with that, meeting with the neighborhood association, they're okay with it. The proposal is one of sort of just to help the business be able to get in and out a little bit better.
Thank you, Alderman. We'll go through members of the committee for questions. Alderman Ballmer.
No questions.
Alderman Velasquez.
No questions.
Vice Chair Browning.
No questions.
Thank you. I'm seeing the Franklin of Soulard. Is it called the reception hall? Soulard Reception Hall?
It is, that is their name, but it is, you're right, Alderwoman, the Franklin.
It's beautiful. I've never been in it, but I guess they just need, and large, they need some access through the alley.
They do.
Okay, wonderful. It's lovely. I'm looking forward to learning more about it. So thank you for bringing this forward. Madam Clerk, any public comment?
We have none.
Okay. And with that, I will entertain a motion for a due pass recommendation of Board Bill 11.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by the Alderman from the 5th, seconded by the Alderman from the 6th. There's been a call for previous roll from the Alderman from the 9th. Any objection? Any discussion? Hearing none, we have passed Board Bill 112 with a due pass recommendation. Alderman
Thank you,
St.
Madam.
You're welcome.
I'll just say, next time they have a public event, and they have quite a few, I'll make sure you get an invitation because it is a pretty lovely venue.
Thank you. Yeah, it looks gorgeous. A lot of old world charm there. So, the next bill on our agenda is Board Bill number 154. Alderman Spencer, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Board Bill 154 is to prohibit semi-trucks from entering the Laclede's Landing. This has been a long time in the works, and I have had quite a bit of involvement in this bill, primarily because the Laclede Landing area has been such a problem for with regards to semi-trucks. So what happens is it's very confusing when you're coming northbound and you're trying to go north, and how you get into a turn lane if you're trying to go eastbound on the bridge, and you end up in Laclede's Landing, and you can't turn around if you're a semi. And so it is very, very, very confusing for the semi truck drivers. They end up going down there inadvertently, not knowing that they can't turn around, and then they end up kind of going back and forth and trying to exit and ruining a lot of the city infrastructure, running over the curbs, running over the sidewalks, hitting fire hydrants. It has been a nightmare. And so this will allow us to put up no semi signs that will help inform the semi truck drivers that they're not allowed to go down there, and hopefully, abate some of the problem inadvertently getting down there causes for them. The Laclede's Landing folks are very much in favor of this. We've been working with MoDOT, our city planning department, and our street department to orchestrate this solution. And it's been a nightmare, quite frankly, to get the description for the legal documentation of the board bill from the street department. However, we've finally got something we feel confident and feel comfortable with, and will allow us to put up those signs.
Okay, great. I'll go to members of the committee for questions. Alderman Vollmer.
So I guess there are restaurants and things on there that, such as my restaurant, even on the hill, we get deliveries from Cisco and US Foods. So those semis, I guess, know their way around. Those are still allowed for deliveries, is what you're saying?
They are, Alderman Vollmer, yes. And this is something that the Laclede's Landing folks, all of them want. I mean, it's more than anything to better inform the semis. There's another route that they can come back on the back end to deliver to the casino and the restaurants.
Okay.
But we don't want them going down the center of Laclede's Landing, where there is really, frankly, no exit without running over a sidewalk.
No,
So
I get it. My idea of dying going to hell would be to be a semi driver and have the hill or Laclede's Landing as a route. Yes.
It's so bad. And, this is hopefully just going to inform them, no semis here, so they'll really be encouraged not to drive down there because it's harmful it's a nightmare.
All right. No more questions.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderwoman Velasquez.
No questions.
Vice Chair Browning.
No question.
Thank you, Alderwoman. I appreciate you bringing this forward. We've had some issues with some signs getting done quickly in the streets department. So do they already have signs like this? I know you mentioned it a little bit in your remarks.
They do not, but the folks in Laclede's Landing are willing to put up the signs. They just need the legal right to do that. And that's exactly what this bill does, is provide the path for them to be able to put those signs up legally.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Any public comment?
We have none.
Okay, Alderman, you're recognized to close.
Great, thank you so much. I would appreciate the committee's support of 112.
154.
Oh, excuse me, 154. That's right. I
You
switched
already
them.
got 112. Oh, hi, Alderman
Yes.
Keys. You're not driving, are you? Alderman Keys?
No, I'm not. I'm just.
No, I know
very
you're
bold.
not, Alderman. I see Alderman Keys. You're parked? Thank you. You know I'm a stickler.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm parked.
I'm so
Mhm.
glad you're here, though. Thank you for being here safely.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So with that, we will entertain a motion for a due pass recommendation of Board Bill number
Oh, move.
54.
Second. No objections.
There's been,
We can't do.
there has been a motion for a due pass recommendation of Board Bill number 154 from Alderman from the 5th, a second from the Alderman from the 6th. There was a call for previous roll, but there was an objection. Alderman, please call, or Madam Chair, please call the roll.
Alderman Vollmer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys,
Aye.
Alderwoman Velazquez,
Aye.
Vice Chair Browning,
Aye.
Chair Schweitzer.
Aye.
We have 5 aye votes.
Thank you. With that, you have sustained the motion of the Alderman from the 5th, and we have passed Board Bill 154 with a due pass recommendation. Thank you, Alderman Spencer. We have no
Thank you.
resolutions for review. We have concluded our committee discussions. Any written testimony?
We have none.
As for announcements, next week, the Transportation and Mobility Plan team will be coming to our committee to present at 3:30 p.m. here in the Kennedy Room. That should be a really interesting presentation of the work they've done so far and a scheduled update of that plan. I do encourage you to tune in. As I said in the discussion of the utility coordination policy, we are hoping to hear from the Director of Streets next week, the following Wednesday on February 5th, also at 3:30 p.m. here in the Kennedy Room. I know a lot of people are still waiting for snow and ice removal on their streets, so just make sure to get those Citizen Service Bureau requests in. They've been getting out there a lot, and I appreciate everyone who tuned in to last week's meeting and to all the aldermen who were willing to move their bills to today's hearing to accommodate for that. Moving on to excuse, unless there's any other announcements? Moving on to excuse members, all members were present.
I have an announcement.
Yes, Alderwoman, your announcement, go ahead.
Thank you. So Alderwoman Schweitzer of the 1st Ward and the 11th Ward will be at the WashU campus this evening for the performance of Chicken and Biscuits through the Black Rep Theater. So we hope to see many people there.
We're excited about it. It's going to be so fun. Thank you, Alderwoman.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank
All
you.
righty. Thank you.
With that, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Previous roll.
It's been moved by the Alderman from the 5th, seconded by the Alderman from the 6th. There's been a call for previous roll from the Alderman from the 6th. Any objection? Any discussion?
No
Hearing
objection.
none, we are adjourned.
All right.
Thank you.